This seal is a symbol of good television.
Friends and family, the Red Cup Review. This is your host, Rob Banks, and today we're looking at the Super 7 figures of They Live, the ReAction figures that were sent to us by a fan of the page. So thank you, kind sir, and as you can tell, we're real big fans here, right? So before you go and consume these figures, because they're pretty awesome, they got awesome card backs, right? The type of stuff you can just pin to the wall. It's great paintings and stuff. We're going to take a closer look at that, but make sure you subscribe, like, and share this thing. Let's get on with the review. All right, right off the bat, I just got to say what I absolutely love about this, and I know I'm speaking to peers here when I say this, and that isn't it awesome that ever since like Stranger Things came out, right? That like there's this whole like 1980s like pop culture reemergence in the zeitgeist, right? Where all the cool stuff from our youth is actually making a big comeback, at least in collectibles. Stuff like this wasn't available when we were younger, and this is just great. It's great to sip from that fountain of youth again. So here are the two figures, right, in the wave. Collect them all, right? The female ghoul and the male ghoul. They got awesome card art, right? The card art, you buy it for you put a pin or a nail in there, right? Put it up on the wall and bang, like that's just it just looks awesome the way it is. And then you got to buy two, right, to have in your collection or something like that, just to have them up there standing. But these look really nice. The card art is just so damn nice. I don't even want to open these damn things. I'm probably gonna have to get two more to actually. Because these were a little damaged in the mail there. But to put them up on the wall. You see them on the street, you watch them on TV, you think they're people just like you. You're wrong, dead wrong. The old VHS tagline, right? How awesome is that? And the card art on this is just so damn cool, right? You got it talking into the watch. Like when they would see you in the movie, they would talk into the watch to report about the humans that noticed them when they put on those special glasses, right? And the card art is actually done by Jason Edmiston, right? So big shout outs to Jason. Awesome freaking artwork, man. Like I said, the artwork is the toy and the accessory is the figure, right? We're going to take a closer look at them now. Unbelievable. You know what would be cool? I thought about this right before I started, right before I hit play actually. Do you imagine if they did like a variant, right? Where like here, he's reading his newspaper, it says obey, right? Or like consume or buy and all that other stuff. When you put the special glasses on, this is what people would see in the movie. As if like the toy actually had that. Like where the toy was just like consume. Like as if you were looking at it as if you had the glasses on. That would be really freaking awesome. Now, I'm not much of a collector of ReAction figures. I'm more of an articulation guy, right? But these figures are actually pretty dope. So you got to actually have a property that I'm kind of enamored with, as you can see from the beginning of the video. Big fan of They Live. Can't say it enough. But the paintwork on the faces are actually really awesome. But before we get to the minor details of the figure like that, here are some things that I noticed right off the bat, right? You throw the purse on the lady, and you put the briefcase in the gentleman's hand and his newspaper, right? There's no stands. They're just standing right up on their own, which is pretty excellent considering the figures themselves are 3 3/4 inches, right? So they really don't weigh all that much. Now, their accessories are solid plastic. So for the girl, it's just draped over her shoulder, that's fine. For the gentleman over here, the solid plastic of the newspaper is actually, got some weight to it. But what's cool is that if you put the briefcase in the other part of his hand, if you take a figure like this, you put something heavy in his hand, he's going to keel over. He or she will definitely keel over because of the weight distribution. However, because this is solid plastic as well, it actually counterbalances and weighs him down here so that he won't fall over, right? So you can almost put him in a pose as if they were like crossing the street or something, and he pulls like the newspaper up in front of his face, and then you don't got to worry about them, keeling over in your cabinet. I've even kind of like tapped on this, shook it a little bit. See how they're shaking a little, and they don't fall over. So that's awesome. That's a plus in my book. They even got like I said earlier before, they got their little their little flying accessories here, their little cameras, and they come apart here. At least mine did. Right? They come apart like that. It's not broken, right? Why I think this is cool is because you can have it like kind of blown up, right? Like on the floor, like depending on how you want to display this. Like if you want to display it with like some G.I. Joes or something, or you want to have like one of them blown up and one of them maybe suspended. If you take like a piece of like string and kind of like suspend it or something, maybe chicken wire or something like that, or fishing wire. You have one suspended, one blown up at the feet or something like that. That would be pretty cool. I mentioned G.I. Joes. These figures come in at 3 3/4 inches. That's what they're billed at, and Joes are as well. And you can see that they're pretty much perfectly in scale with one another. if Storm Shadow over here is clocking in at, like, let's say 5'9" to 5'10" or so, that means, it's just off by a hair. So the guy and the girl are pretty much only an inch or two shorter. So they would fit in if you wanted to do like some kind of like diorama or something, or have these figures fit in with some other figures. And the only figures I could think of besides other ReAction figures would be Joe's, and they would fit in fine just like that as well. So besides the card art, if you're going to keep them on card is one thing. If you're going to open them up, here's something that's pretty awesome. The level of detail they put into the paint app on the face sculpt of these figures is something that I've never really even seen before, because they really don't bleed that much with the paint. Now, all of the resources went into actually painting the faces themselves. Look at the stars over the silver of the eyes. They must have used the eye of a needle to paint these, because they're not sloppy. They're sharp. The lines are super sharp. Yeah, the teeth could have been a little bit clearer. Being super ultra picky. These are 3 and 4 inch retro action figures. Look at the way the paint, it's not just globs of red paint on the face. They're actually painted like they are in the movie. Like, it looks natural. It goes to the contours of the face, where the bone structure over the eye is. I mean, I'm trying to be super picky here, guys, and it just works completely. Now, they are retro action figures, and you get what you pay for. These aren't super high end. They're casted in all gray plastic. The paint on the rest of the figure is good, not great, but still pretty darn good. It's molded in solid gray, the male figure is. You can see that the paint on the hand goes up into the sleeve on this side, but on this side, it's actually super, super clean, and it is really great, and there's no bleed on the shoes, on the black. Come on, let's get that in focus. See how it just works perfect and cuffs perfectly. Whoever did the sculpts on these actually knew what they were doing too, because that's exactly how a pant leg is supposed to lie against the shoe. You guys have seen some of my past stuff. I talk about how tailoring works in the real world, and how some of these artists are actually paying close attention to that. The head sculpt, by comparison, like the hair itself, the paint on the hair, it works, it's fine. It doesn't bleed into the rest of the face. It does its job. But you almost wish that the paint work was even more, because it's just so darn good on the face. Now, the female is probably even better, right? Now, the female head sculpt, right, which is just, it's just nicer with the hair and all that other stuff. It's just a more interesting looking face. The teeth are actually painted even better on this. What's cool about this one is that you really see it in the eyes, right? They did black, then you got a silver, you got the black, then you got the red around the eye itself, then the silver, and then super, super small, you get those black stars. These guys knocked this out of the park, man. They really, like, the head sculpts themselves, they're good. The sculpts are good. The paintwork on the face, I can't talk enough about it. Right? There's a little bit of a super smidge of bleed on there. Not even, really. The legs work fine. They don't look like she's wearing, that's the way they looked in the movie. And this is obviously casted all in I guess it's a off brown colored, and then the white is painted on there, and I guess that's how it came out in the moldings. These work out pretty darn good. Let's take a look at the accessories. What would an action figure be without some cool accessories, right? To just add that little extra oomph. These don't open. They're all solid black plastic, right? This is the female's purse, which is cool. Does its job. Doesn't fall off the shoulder, and she can hold it as well. So that does its job. They both come with their little handy-dandy spy cams, which is cool. I showed you those before. Here's something being super nitpicky. The male's briefcase doesn't open. It doesn't even need to open, and it's not like because I want to put the newspaper in there or anything. It's solid plastic. He holds it well. It's a good handle on here. You could even use this for other action figures if you want. So it's a pretty cool accessory. It's actually stuck to the inside of the plastic. See that? That's not the mold. That's tape, right? They use Scotch tape to put it on the inside to stop it from rattling around inside the clamshell. All you got to do is just get yourself some warm water and some soap, and that'll come right off. So don't scrape it with your finger either, then you'll scratch the plastic. So just use the warm water soap method, and that'll be fine. But this is good. It's not super heavy. It actually weighs the figure down a little bit when you pose them with it, which is cool. My absolute favorite of all the accessories is the Obey newspaper. Whoever thought of this was the genius. And it might look like, you see, it's not just solid like plastic. It actually has the folds of the newspaper itself, which is really dynamite. And for those of you who like to customize, see, there's that tape gunk from before. That's not actually on this. And it has some folds in it, so it's a good mold. For those who customize, you can get some black wash. I might do this myself and kind of put it in the seams here and then wipe it off with a little tissue or something, just to get some more shadowing in there, which would be pretty cool. And it's a nice accessory. You don't even have to use it for the They Live figures. You can use it for other things too. It probably fit like a Mezco or something like that, even though it's a little smaller. I don't know. I think it's dope. And he holds it in his hand real well too. You guys saw that before. It's this hand right here. You just pop it right in there, right, like that. And he's like looking at it. But I wouldn't have it like that though, right? You don't want him, unless you're going to have him like pose like this where it's over his shoulder, all right? You put it like this and have him like he's looking at it, and it's like you see Obey, but he sees what he wants to see, right? That's what I'm digging. Very cool stuff, guys. In conclusion, we're just going to say that these figures, besides being absolutely awesome wall art, because that's what I would use them for, I'm more of an articulation guy myself, right? So I think they should at least have G.I. Joe level articulation. However, judging what they are, and because they're more of an adult collectible and it's more of a niche market, these things are getting 4 out of 5 cups. The packaging is a 10 out of 10 if you ask me. And they're just great. They're great to have, something to put up on the wall. If you haven't seen the movie, go and see it. Now we just need Super 7 to get off the bench and get in touch with the Piper estate to get us that third figure that's missing from this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and by all means, we'll see you on the next episode. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always,
consume.